Facebook Live and welcome to day 50 of 365 days. Can you believe it? I've been doing this every single day for 50 days. This is insane. Like when I actually think of the word, oh my God, 50, like for 50 days in a row. I don't think I've ever done anything in my life consistently for that long that I can think of. Maybe dieting. Maybe dieting was the only thing that has come close when I was in the dieting phase of my life. Maybe. But wow, this is incredible. So today we are celebrating, and I want to talk about consistency and consistency, and even when it comes to your feminine embodiment. So hello and welcome to my page. If you are new here, my name is Jessica Lozano, and I am a women's relationship and feminine embodiment mentor. And I help women have incredible love lives. Single women magnetize, call in the one. Women who are in a relationship and they're feeling the rut, they know that there's more than what is currently happening right now in their relationship, and they want to have a breakthrough so they can get back to the love that they used to have when they first fell in love. And I work on sacred sexuality. I work on the sacred union within, so you can have it as within. So out, I don't like without, but outside is also what's going to happen and be reflected. So there's this consistent evolution of the union within yourself, of your masculine and feminine energies, as well as the evolution of how that looks like in your relationship. And that's a huge key component that I work on with a lot of the women that I work with. Actually, we work on a lot of really anchoring in their own masculine codes that has caused them to get into these really toxic cycles because their own inner masculine could not say, wasn't strengthened enough and had the courage to say no to a relationship to protect their feminine, and therefore they got involved in these unhealthy relationship patterns, and we had to strengthen that energy. So what I've come to realize or come to see in my own experiences, but also in the experiences of the clients that I work with, is that this inner masculine is the foundation for the feminine to really expand. I will stand on that until I die. You cannot soften into your feminine if you do not feel safe and secure. You can't. You can't. And building consistency is a way that you create self-trust, inner security, inner safety, so that the feminine can then really feels the stability of your energy, of your frequency, of your actions, and therefore, boom, it can now come out just like we want in a partner. In a man, we want consistency, we want to trust him, we want to feel secure, we want to feel safe. Then you can yes, give me you. I am open to you, right? If there is no consistency, if he's not showing up consistently, if he message you one day and doesn't message you the other day, it doesn't feel safe. If he shows up for you one week when you're sad and the next week he doesn't show up for you, you're like, what's happening here? There is no trust. There is no trust. So with this 50-day milestone that I've passed, which we're celebrating right now, cheers, boop. I did want to have like a glass of wine with you, but I don't know what Ron and I are fighting off, but man, I was feeling good this morning. I woke up, I was like, you know what, I'm feeling good. We actually had brunch plans, but Ron isn't feeling well. He's kind of has whatever I have, and then he's like, I don't think I could do brunch, which we canceled Saturday dinner plans, and then we wanted to see if maybe he felt better. And he was like, not feeling good. I was like, all right, well, if we can't go out to eat, we're going to bring the food to us. And just before I left, I started to feel like shit. Like whatever this thing is, it just like it leaves and then you think you're feeling good and then boom, it just comes back. Really reminds me a lot of the COVID virus, but I know it's not that. But that's how I felt. So I wanted to say cheers. Since I can't cheers you with a wine, I'm going to cheers to 50 days of 365 Facebook Lives with my water with vitamin C in it. So cheers. So with consistency, which this has actually been a thing for me from last month in May, what it showed me where I wasn't really able to hold the expansion that I was going into because I didn't have I haven't upgraded my masculine energy energetically, and then of course what that looks like in action. And therefore I was expanding, boom, collapse, and my feminine, she wanted to destroy because I didn't create the space that she wanted. When she asked me, I felt it. I felt I wanted to rest. I felt like I needed a couple of days off, clear my calendar. But no, I didn't trust to take those days off. And instead, I got into the spiral. So, into this destruction phase. So, consistency and the masculine energy is so important in order for you to be fully embodied in your feminine. And you will continue to go into deeper and deeper layers of this in your evolution. And it'll just be more of a masterful skill that you will start to learn after you've taken your masculine and feminine energies that were operating in this really shadow, this murky, this very unclear way, and you get yourself to neutral. And then once you're in neutral, then we're going to go into the exalted expressions of these in your relationship, as well as in other areas in your life that you are, like in your career, in your business. I'm assuming as a mother, I mean, I don't know what that looks like, but that, like in your health. So this consistency piece is so important in creating the safety that your feminine needs, that your feminine requires in order for her to fully be unleashed. For example, and your nervous system actually really needs consistency too, as I learned with this keloid that I'm still actively working on to dissolve, which I paused the sessions and I paused my own practices with it because I knew with the move that it was going to get inflamed again, because moving is very, very, very dysregulating to my nervous system. So I was like, you know what, I know it's going to get hard again, and I feel like I just need a break because I've been getting a little frustrated because she hasn't had the progress that I had in the beginning, because there was a lot of moving that happened when Ron moved down, and it seems like she just hasn't been able to get back on. So it's like, you know what, I think she just needs a break. And through this, my keloid specialist, Kendra, she's like, yeah, you need to be consistent because your nervous system needs to feel that consistency. For my nervous system to relax, it needs to feel that consistency of your hands touching it all the time, and all the other exercises. You can't just skip 2 days. You have at least every other day has to be done. So that was really interesting, but makes sense, right? Like if someone is not showing up for you, consistency, it makes you feel dysregulated. It makes you feel unloved. It makes you feel like I can't trust you. And it's not even like a make. It's like the evidence is showing me that I cannot trust you. The evidence is showing me that I cannot feel safe with you, right? So when we create consistency in our lives, it regulates something. So for me, I've had this thing with Facebook Lives for a long time where I wanted to be really consistent with it. I was like, okay, every Thursday I'm going to do a Facebook Live. Thursdays would come and I'd be like, I wouldn't do it. I would do it, or I would make it such a big deal, and I had to have this really huge long thing, and like this really like an hour-long thing that I needed to talk. For some reason, that's what I thought. And I would do good for like maybe a couple of weeks, and then I would fall off. And then I said, well, maybe I'm just going to do it intuitively. When I feel like it, I'm just going to do it. And then I had the excuse like, well, no, I need to look good. I need to have my makeup on. Facebook doesn't have really good filters. Like, it's not going to work well. And I had all these excuses. And then I stopped it. I was like, I don't know. I can't. I'm stopping this. I'm being really inconsistent. It's creating more stress. Like, I don't know what to do with this. So we're going to just cancel all of Facebook lives. Then I really had the urge to do like a podcast. Like, I don't know, like I feel like a podcast would be really good. Like, I don't have to show my face. I don't have to worry about having makeup on and looking presentable, because most of the time, if you look at my Facebook lives, I am usually very low key. I don't necessarily always like to be full face of makeup, fully dressed up or anything like that. I love the wow factor, you know, when you get really dressed up and you put a full face of makeup, like I love that. So I don't like to always be dressed up. Usually I'm very low key, just have my eyebrows and mascara. And you've probably seen that in all the other videos. So for me to actually every day, or not every day, when I was before doing this Facebook, where I wanted to do Facebook lives consistently on one day, it felt like a lot, because some days I did not want to put makeup on. Super small, but that's the thing. So I thought podcast would be better. And then like it didn't feel 100% right, because that's also a big commitment. You have to be really committed to it if you want to have a successful podcast. You can't just do it. Then I decided, you know what? I think I'm going to do 365 days, because I need to feel regulated with this. I need to feel regulated with going live. I need to feel consistency. I need to prove to myself that I don't need to put on a full face of makeup. I'm going to prove to myself that I can just talk and say something, and then that's okay. I'm going to prove to myself that I can have a few women on live watching me, and I want to work through that, because as soon as people start to come on live, as soon as I see that one, the two, it starts to make me really nervous. It really does. And like a couple days ago, I had like 3 women live, which is, for me, it's a lot. It's a big deal. And I'm being very vulnerable and very transparent, even though I know a lot of people watch them later, especially if I put like a nice title on it. I want to get more regulated doing it live, right? There was these things that I felt like I needed to do, that I wanted, I felt it, but I needed to be consistent. And I was like, I think 365. And I felt like I wanted to make a big commitment to my business, right? My feminine feeling was like, I need to go big. I have this feeling like, hey, masculine energy, we're going to do this consistently. We see this feels right, we're going to do it. And it's been 50 days, and I feel so much better being able to come on live. There are days where I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to talk about? I have nothing to talk about. I don't know what to talk about. I have nothing to talk about. But that's okay. I just somehow eventually I either tap into myself or I grab a book. Like, what am I reading right now that I could probably share? What's happening in my world? What's happening with my clients? What is it that I can talk about? And I have things to talk about. And that was one of the rules that I made. I'm like, it's just, I have to build the consistency muscle. So from day 1 to 50, I feel it was really about this consistency piece. And that's always been a real thing for me in my life. For me, it's always been about building consistency and then perfecting and then getting better at it. Because for me, if I can build the habit, then I can refine that habit. I can refine it and I can become better at it. So I'm going to pick an intention for 51 to 100. I'm not sure what that intention is going to be yet, but I really want to pick an intention so that it can be, I can have something to focus on when I do day 51 to day 100. So I'm going to think about that, but I'll get back to you. So with this consistency, let's talk about this through feminine embodiment. For feminine embodiment, it comes a lot to first, what's the word I'm looking for? Not dissolving. De-armoring the masculine. It starts with, that's the very first step. And the way that you de-armor the masculine is by creating consistency with the things, like with an undoing of that consistency. For example, if there are things that you had to do every single day out of like an OCD obsession, your consistency is to not do that thing every single day and to let it go and see that you'd be okay. So you're taking a masculine principle of consistency, but you're putting a feminine spin on it. If you want to be more, what's another feminine embodiment? If you want to be more sensual, you're like, I'm ready to be more sensual. Okay, every day I'm going to practice really feeling my skin. Like every day I'm going to put music on that really makes me feel really slow and really steady, and I'm going to put that on and I'm going to move slow. I'm going to feel all the different sensations on my body. I'm going to touch different things and I'm going to feel the sensuality of it, right? And I'm going to do that every single day for 10 minutes. I'm going to put the alarm on, I'm going to put some music on, and I'm going to take my mind and drop it down into my body and focus on that sensuality. So even with feminine embodiment, you can apply the consistency and masculine principles to create the safe container for it. This is why this masculine energy is so important for us, for women, right? When my strongest initiation into the masculine energy was with my ex, because he was controlling and manipulative and emotionally abusive. So I really had to create this strong spine to consistently defend, not even defend, to stand to my truth. It's not even about defending. I wasn't even there was nothing to defend, because if I did defend, that's when we would get into those fights, right? Because defensiveness, because when you're trying to, what's the word I'm looking for here? That headache's coming in now. When you defend something, truth doesn't need defending, first of all. Something that is not true, usually somebody wants to defend that. So when I wanted to build this strong spine, I had to be very consistent and to stay in that strong center so that I wouldn't cave. I really had to create that consistency and really work through all the uncomfortable emotions and sensations that happen from actually voicing my truth, standing in my truth and not backing down. That was a lot of consistency that I had to build. A lot. And on the outside, you think that I would be very strong because I was a trainer and I was a tough trainer, but in that relationship, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I was operating in overcompensated masculine energy and shadow feminine energy, 100%. There was no way that, all shadow. There's no way that I would be able to stand and stay in my truth at that time. So that required consistency. So this consistency is so important in whatever it is that you want to build and create for yourself. In order for me to be embodied in my feminine, I had to be very consistent in investing in myself, that put me in containers with coaches and women that were on the same path consistently all the time, and I still do. Reading books consistently, practices. Right now I'm doing a 40-day satna, a pussy satna practice, which is about like yoni gazing, pretty much. There's a little bit more to that, but there's yoni gazing for like 40 days. That is taking the masculine energy and masculine principle, consistency, to help my feminine open up. So this process has been regulating for me. I'm very thankful that my feminine said, yes, this is what we're going to do. And then my masculine has took action and has showed up every day. So now I want to create an intention. And I know it's going to be an intention that takes this to like the next level for the next 50 days. And just one intention for the next 50 days. One intention for the next 50 days to make this even better. To make this even better. And then we'll continue from there. So I'm not sure. I feel like it has to do something with communication. It feels like that, like something with communicating better, you know, having a better setup, or like, because sometimes I don't write out what I'm going to say and sometimes I do. So maybe it's going to be something like that. I'm not sure. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. I'm very much open to hear. And let me know, where do you need to place more consistency in your life so that you can get the result that you want. And if you want assistance on this, tell me what you're looking to create more consistency in, and then I can share what ideas I have. So that is it for today. Thank you for being here, celebrating 50 days. I'm going to drink my water and vitamin C because I'm feeling like this thing that I'm fighting is just not leaving. And I'm going to go hang out with my boo. So I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you tomorrow.